Hello, I'm on Mount Sage, and today I'd like to talk about the new changes to the heroes. They kind of come in two parts here. So I have seen all the heroes kits. I did a recording before this. I wasn't very happy with it, so I'm just going to re-record it. So I want to start with saying that the epics and rares are looking very good. Very, very good, even a little pushed. And so I'm very happy they decided to go with this beta more and more. I think that the older characters, they probably won't have time to do a balance pass. Remember, Brad tells us that to do a balance pass, it's not just, hey, someone goes in and changes the numbers. It has to go through a committee, it has to go through everything. They probably don't have time to do all that, considering they have a lot of back end work as well, right? Probably all hands on deck getting ready for the beta. So we're probably going to have an imbalance of really strong rares with really weak rares, and some in the middle. So I think this beta is going to be a good test of like, hey, is it okay if rares are this strong? Is like, should they be this weak? Whatever. So I think we're going to have a mixed bag of rares and epics. And I think a lot of these epics and rares or whatever, in the long term, they're going to need to revisit this, right? And I hope they choose to buff the older stuff. They probably don't have time before launch though. And some of the rares do have use, right? I just don't think you're going to take them to 60 necessarily. And some of these rares, I think you will, right? So that's the first thing on the agenda here is, be aware that we're cooking with gas here, right? The second thing is we need to talk about the new scaling. So certain characters, right? And it can only be invokers, slayers, and disruptors, right? Because defenders and brawlers already have a secondary scaling, right? So if you a scaled attack only, you could have the secondary attack thing. How I read this is every point of initiative raises this number. So we start with 101 initiative. So with no initiative investment, this starts at a 276% attack, which is cool, right? I think using initiative like this, they say they want initiative to be this this secondary, the stat that rivals speed. I don't think it's there yet with the divinity change, but if they're very liberal with using this on characters that care about ultimates, if they're an ultimate based character such as Freya here, I think that this makes a knit up and a knit down a lot better, right? And that's something that they seem to value, is those two buffs and debuffs. And it's a way to buff people. It gives them another multiplier to work with. And you can only build 5 stats on a character. A well-built character can only invest in 5 stats fully. And so currently with Slayers, right, you get attack, crit damage, crit rate, speed. And then sometimes people will build into HP then for survivability for that last stat, right? Or they'll double down on the attack or whatever, right? It's really cool to have a 5th stat there that we can really focus on if they choose to do the initiative stuff. I hope some Slayers have this initiative if they don't need accuracy in their kit. Another way to pull a lever, right? To use that 5th stat for more damage. So I think I'm interested to see where this is going. I think this is definitely a step in the right direction. This old one right here, it looks like they still have an old one here. This is garbage. It did no damage, right? And I think they realized that, and I'm glad they kind of, and this will also make, if they did have an init one that did a lot of damage, right? It's still, this attack down is still hitting this just as hard, which is good, right? We don't want to invalidate attack down, because attack down hits invokers, disruptors, and slayers, right? So having this hybrids thing meant like there could be an invoker that could do damage just having a ton of a init, and in this case, it still loops back through your attack. I love that. There's a few trouble childs though, and so I pulled them out. So Morgan Le Fay went from not sure, interesting, to wow, what an actual terrifying ability. Because of this, you're going to have, like, let's just say you have 300 accuracy, right? Which is not unreasonable to get at all while still building damage. This is 350 3 times. That is 1050 AoE while also spitting out Etherburn, Blaze, and Acid and Bleed, right? And so that makes this also, like, she's actually doing damage with this. This first line of text is actually terrifying. And this second line of text is also terrifying. Like, this is actually a terrifying ultimate now. You are going to click this button because this is going to have 500% attack doing, you could be doing double damage with this, right? This could be 1,000 attack AoE nuke for the cost of all your debuffs. Yeah, so all of a sudden, oh, she also puts Banshee right now. Yeah, they changed her her awakenings as well, right? I'm not gonna go through every character, right? I'm sorry if that's what you wanted. I'm just gonna go through the new characters and end this new concept here. So if they keep this like this, I think they're gonna have to change this. If it's a multi-hitter, it's gonna have to be 1% per 3 accuracy to make up for the 3 multi-hit. Just so this becomes more of like 153 times. Right, but even still, even if they change this to 1% per 3 accuracy to counteract 3 times, like I said, this ultimate is now real, right? This ultimate is, I'm interested in. Okay, I did this grindy arena fight thing, and then now you're loaded up on Aether Burns, Bleeds, Acid Burns, and then I'm gonna cash them out to do a ton of damage. This feels like a Dracula kind of ultimate. And then taking extra turn feels really good because we actually do damage with this now. So your ultimate kind of exchanges your long-term investment damage into snappy quick damage into an extra turn. This is actually good now. This is good, right? And then yeah, she has an AoE A1. She is a very, very good character with these changes. So she was always interesting, but now she is actually good. So much so I wish I like pulled her in the mini game now, right? I was looking for a good Slayer. She did come across my radar, but I didn't pull the trigger on her because I thought she was a little too weak for what I wanted. I wish I did, right? I think starting with her would be absolutely phenomenal. I hope I pulled her early because she looks really powerful and really fun. Another person we talk about is Raw. Raw's spooky now because he starts with a big number and then gets big scaling as well. So once again, we have this issue with Raw again. I think that multi-hitters are going to have to be one attack per 3 accuracy, right? So your total scaling is the same, but you're, yeah. And I mean, this is going to hit for 700. This is going to hit for 750. Yeah, this might be a little too. I'm pulling out the trouble childs, right? So these two are kind of trouble children that are going to need to be aware of, especially these multi hitters here. Like this is doing way too much damage, right? You need to, like I said, 1% attack per 3 accuracy to counteract the 3 times. And then the last trouble child here is Perun. I don't think this should ever be done for speed. Period. Like, end of conversation. This should not be done with speed. Speed is already a gigastat. Now, if you want to do it for a character, like you want to do it for Perun, because Perun's kit for a legendary disruptor is a little lackluster. I think it's really good still, right? And if you want him to be more of a damage dealing, throw out turn meter, and you want to give him a lot of damage to make up for that, that's okay. But remember, speed is already the stat we are trying to beat with initiative and accuracy as well, right? Because it's the best secondary stat. It's the best stat, period. And so making it better is dubious, I would say. So if you want it to just be on Perun, I think it's okay on Perun. However, this is not a lever I'd pull very often at all. I do not think you should be scaling with speed. It is already a stat you're building. You do not need more incentive to build it. So, and like, we want interesting builds, not like, oh, I just do the same old cookie cutter attack, crit damage, crit rate, speed, right? You want to kind of force them to pull that 5th stat lever. And if they don't have good enough gear to do that, then you force them to pull away from their crit damage or their speed to get more damage from a different stat. Anyway, I think overall it's a good change, though. Like I said, these are the problem children. I think most of the people, like most abilities, are interesting, and I can't wait to see how it plays out in game and if it's going to stick around past the beta, right? But I do love this too. Also, again, this is a 2-hitter as well. Dios míos, oh my gosh, this does so much damage. And wait, this is a 7-hit. Wait, we need to talk about this. Wait, this is a 7-hitting? If you have 300 speed, no. This is to be 1 per 7 speed if you're going to do this, right? Or like 1 per 3 speed or something. Like, you cannot have this 1-to-1 with a 7-hitter. No. That's way too much. Like, he'll just be killing everything. Like, it's good damage. Like, I can't believe I'm turning up my nose to damage, but this is, ooh, no, that's a bit. Is it fine? No, it's too much. Against bosses, you're doing like, it's 7 times at random isn't as bad, because this will get split across the entire team, which is bad. That's why I think 1 per maybe 2 would be fine here, because that would give you 250 7 times at random. Yeah, I think 1 per 2 here, if you're doing it at random, is fine. I think if I can concentrate to a single target, it needs to be weaker, right? Or if it's AoE, of course, right? I like what they're doing at random, by the way. Anyway, be aware of this, right? Let us continue to the actual kits. So I want to thank Soplin, and I want to thank Crone. Both of them together helped me figure out the champions I still need to cover from the last video. Excuse me. And so I'm very, Crone made the website and he's going to keep track of the change logs. And then I asked Soplin to gather the people I didn't do yet, right? And it saved me a lot of time. So let's go through all these kits here. So we have a rare Slayer strength. So this is directly competing with our starters, right? So we expect him to do something different, right? Or to compete with them, right? So we see a single attack for 400 attack. This is good. We'll talk about this in a second. We have 50% chance to place curse on the target for 2 turns. That's perfectly fine. If they're under blaze, increase duration of blaze. Good. This is good. Now you may now some of you may be saying, well, 400 attack, this is a legendary scaling. I need to remind you that this stat is 30% less than a legendary on average, I think. Something like that, right? On average, it's like 30% less. So this is doing 30% less damage because that's how percentages work. If you have the same percentage acting on a smaller number, you keep the percent difference, right? And that's why changing the base number and percentages really dwindle your damage, right? And this is a point that we've been trying to drive through with the community is if we don't want rares to be hit here and base multipliers and ascension and awakening, right? I would like to see these awakening numbers to be uniform, right? I think that this should be 10% across the board for rare, like for common up to legendary, because remember, percentages will naturally reflect the stat differential of the base stat differential, right? And I think awakening bonuses for rares are abysmal. I think that you even decide it, like you look at their Awaken 5 and say, is this meaningful to the kit? So Thunder Blaze plays Curse 1 on all enemies instead. Probably not, right? There are people there is a use for this, but I'm not. If I'm using it, I'm probably not interested in this. So the first copy I'll use, the next copies are just food. They are better as 3-star spirits than they are as an awakening, right? So just be aware of that, right? So for rares, this awakening decides if you're going to use them for awakening or not, because these bonuses are not strong enough. They don't do enough. Ignore 5% defense is not enough greasing the wheels to make me invest here, right? I'd rather have the spirits. Okay, let's continue though. So that's enough about the problem with rares. I want to focus on mainly the hero kits and less about the overarching issues we have, the systemic issues. Okay, this is good. Single target hit has a bit of a rider, sure. Attacks all enemies with probably a books to 100% chance to place Blaze on each target for 2 turns. If they're under vulnerable, place Blaze 2 instead. So I'm looking at his kit here. He doesn't have vulnerable. This is fine though. It is okay, and I think this is a great design space where he's bringing a archetype debuff at the first level, and then if you have the team to enable vulnerable, right, he will up the ante, right? He does not provide this himself, but if you use a team slot to give him more, he will give you the second slot. This is phenomenal design. Phenomenal design. Kudos to the person who designed this. This is more in line of a rare. It does a bit of a weaker hit, right? But I think that's okay. And then we do a big smack. I love the design space of doing one big smack for a low cost. This is how Shinigami is built. And I will tell you, this feels really good. I wish Shinigami had better numbers. This is what I'm talking about. And then we're ignoring some amount of defense for each debuff the target is under. Okay, so we're ignoring... Okay, so I might take back this awakening here. It's only 5% though. But we could ignore a total of like 25% defense. When you're ignoring defense, it's only good if you can hit a certain threshold of ignoring defense. So like 5%'s a joke, but adding 5% to like this 10 here is ignoring 15% defense. That could be enough in some fights to make this really kick off. So Akuma might be a weird exception where this is like slightly desirable. And I think that it's going to be harder to press the chicken button, but I'm still going to press the spirit button. But I'm still gonna press the spirit button, but I'll think about it instead of just doing it automatically now. If this was like ignore 5, adding up to 10, or in line with legendaries, right? Ignore 10 to ignore 20 total, and then this goes up to 40. Oh yeah, I'm going to awaken this character if I use them. All right, if this hero, if an enemy is inflicted with blaze damage, this hero steals 5% of their current HP. This can only occur once per hero turn. This is very good. I like the design space of attacking current HP instead of max HP. I think it's a good middle ground between max HP and current, right? Especially if it's like this 5% number, I think it's great. And we're stealing it as well. So we have a bit of a survivability passive. This is a very solid champion. Very, very solid champion. It definitely has its uses over the... I think the starters are still better, but I'm very happy with this champion. I could see pulling it as a secondary damage dealer early. Like if I start with my starter and I pull him to, I'll probably take him to 50 at the very least. And this blaze is very valuable, and there are people that really care about blazes, so he can be a blaze enabler for them as well. Very good. Banshee. We have another Slayer. This is an epic Slayer now, right? So we are 75% chance to place acid on a weaker, on a good hit. Sure. An AoE that places Aether Burn 2 on each enemy for 2 turns. I am interested to see if my postulation is correct about if you have AoE Aether Burn, the opponents cannot ult. If that's the case, this is phenomenal. And then we see here this awakening. Defense down 2. We definitely needed a good defense down 2 setter at the epic level. And this looks like it's it. Right? Attack all enemies. First hit blazes the target. And the second hit increases the duration. Perfect. Inflicting damage to an enemy under blaze, acid, or aether burn has a 50% chance to inflict additional max HP damage. And then if the enemy is defeated, increase the turn meter in divinity by 25. Okay. Yeah, this is good, right? This is where a lot of the damage is coming from. Inflicting damage to an enemy. Okay, so this does a double hitter. If that's the case, I would have liked to see this be a double hitter to try to roll for the 4%. I'd like to see this be a double hitter as well, and I think this is fine. Yeah, I think you changed a double hitter, and I'm very interested in this character. I think otherwise, still a great character, right? AoE Aether Burn and AoE defense down 2. This might be a bit much for a Slayer. Bringing 2 really potent debuffs at the 2nd level. Yeah, just to be aware of that. I think that there is no Aether Burn 1 in the game. I think this would be in a great spot for Aether Burn 1. I don't want, like, there's obviously a Disruptor problem. I think Disruptors should be able to place whatever debuff they want at higher levels than their counterparts. And Aether Burn is a little bit outside of a Slayer's wheelhouse. Now, obviously, the Scream of the Banshee, right? We want some Aether Burn to lower the divinity, right? That's cool. I think this being a great case for Aether Burn 1, right? Which I don't think is in the game yet, but and then defense down 2 is in the wheelhouse of an Awakening 3 Slayer. But other than that, solid kit, right? I think AoE defense down 2 with good hits can't go wrong, right? And then we're placing Blaze as well. I'm getting more Blaze setters as well. The ultimate cost is fine, and then there's a Divinity Generator here as well. Just do damage to an enemy. Right, these Divinity Generators do matter, but I think this is more of advanced theory crafting. By the way, that's why I don't cover them. That's why I just cover the basic kit. Because I'm thinking about, in the first month of the game, how this is going to help you versus, okay, how can you break this in like month 2 and 3? If that makes sense. Let's continue. We have Chang'e. So she is a rare invoker, and this character has she's the best healer in the game, like bar none right now. Because the AoE 10% max HP, this heals off of her HP is my understanding. So you just build her with a ton of HP, and then she is going to heal your allies probably for 25% of their HP if they're like Slayers, right? This is awful. This detracts from your healing, right? I guess if you have no reason to heal, this is fine. Then lastly, we do another heal with a block debuff, right? If the ally is below 50%, you'll put Vanish on them. These two are perfectly good. And then this is fine to put on a rare that has such a good basic and ultimate, right? But every now that's healed, I'll restore additional 20% of the max HP too. This character just is the best healer in the game, bar none. I hope this is the direction they go with these dedicated healers. Like, I think Metzli is an example of a character that is a dedicated healer that sucks. I think that the dedicated healers in this game are awful. And I think this is what the bare minimum should be for a defensive healing invoker. Is they bring debuffs that maybe I usually don't care about, but their healing output is so great, and then block debuffs as well, right? And Vanish is also a technically a defensive debuff as well. And then we also destroy max HP. Phenomenal character. This is a character and we have speed in dungeons as well. Yeah. This is a phenomenal character. This is a dedicated healer slot. This is worth a dedicated healer slot, right? I won't use it personally. I'm a Slayer guy. Slayers don't use dedicated healer slots, right? We try to like plug in healing a little bit at a time, right? If you're going for those type of teams. But this is great as a supplement to, like, a great replacement for Isolde on defender teams, right? Because she is healing a lot. She's healing enough to fill up the HP bars of your defenders and of your guys without the need of mend. So, and also healing their missing HP as well. Phenomenal hero. I think this is a good rare invoker that is purely defense. She's not going to help you clear content, but she's a character that you will want to take to 60 eventually, right? Because this heals scales with her HP. This is the scaling vector. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Is like, this character is not breaking the game for you. This character only looks busted because dedicated healers have been looking so bad, right? So this is very, very good. Very, very good. It's good that we're going in that direction more than it's very good, like a must build. I want to clarify that. Cyclops, I've heard rumors of you, son. I've heard rumors that you are very good. So we attack all enemies, heal for the damage done. This is a pretty weak hit, but it is AoE on a rare, so it's kind of forgivable. An AoE, and then this right here, decrease the attack and defense of each target by 3%. This is very good. This is very, very, very good. Yeah. Excuse me. Attack one enemy, and then we steal buff, and then we destroy their max HP. I like this line of text here. It's not destroy HP of the damage done. It is destroy their max HP. And if they're under a buff, we have a chance to put resistance down on them as well. And then before attacking this hero, we'll increase their attack. This is kind of a nothing burger. Like even in a team full of slayers, like getting 5% of their attack when you have really weak attack scalings, right? But it's a pretty like interesting imprint. There is exactly Musashi who cares about his attack being really high. So this could be enough to tip the scales maybe in a certain dungeon. You can't quite hit the attack threshold to get his riders. Maybe this is enough to push yourself over that threshold to really power him up. So I'm glad this imprint is in the game. So if this is just an imprint thing, that's fine. This hero is very good. I want to talk about max HP destruction for a second. I think Lyko does a great job describing this. I don't know if you've ever heard him talk or not, but you don't lose to max HP when you lose all your max HP. You lose to max HP when you hit about 30 to 40% of it gone, right? You start losing your scalings. You start losing, like, mends become less effective. Heals become less effective on you. And you're more likely to be one shot, right? And so I personally want this to be an inevitability thing. And I think that on turn, I use like between 13 and 15 on longer battles. This is where this really starts to hurt. And at this divinity cost, just doing 10% max HP, like destroying 10% max HP, this is about where that kicks in. And for a rare, a single target version of this is perfectly good, right? So what I want to say is this is doing what it's supposed to do. This is doing what it's supposed to do. And this is doing what it's supposed to do. I love the simple effect here as well. I think more basics need to be a simpler effect. I think it's okay if it just does an AoE hit. And the healing is obviously great, but like, I think that there needs to be, you'll run out of design space quicker if all your basics have to have a rider on them. Like, it's okay if most do, but I think like if 20% of basics were just, hey, here's a hit, right? That's fine. All in all, I'm very happy with this champion. I think he's like in a perfect spot for like this rare brawler. I think brawlers do want to play to inevitability. So like defenders kind of want to put up that wall, right? That sharp wall that's like, hey, you cannot kill me. Slayers want to put up this very sharp offense that says, hey, I'm going to try to kill you anyway. And then brawlers are kind of this nice medium that are like, hey, I do okay stuff, but I'm kind of more inevitable, right? I'm kind of this, think of your Draculas. Now think of this guy as well, where it's like the longer this goes, the more it favors brawlers. So, and I think this character really helps that design space a lot, right? And at the rare level as well. Like he's not, like he is very much a rare. He does his job. This is great design. I think this is exactly where you want to land with rares. Let's continue. Diao Chan, the stable lady. Does that mean she's like mentally stable? Does that mean she works with horses? Anyway, let's continue. So she does a hit. Is she an invoker? She's a disruptor. Okay. Decrease the divinity 10%. This is very good. If they're under charm, steal the divinity. Charm is a phenomenal debuff. I hope we see more of it now. I'm very glad we see more of it. So charm the target for 3 turns and then decrease divinity of very good. I hate divinity. It's great to see someone really hitting divinity a little bit here. If you want initiative to be good, and if you're building initiative to be good, you're going to need these disruptors that hate divinity and really attack it. And I'm glad to see we have someone placing charm. This is a protective buff. For those of you who don't know charm, whenever an enemy would do damage to this character, an enemy under charm will take the damage instead. This is a phenomenal debuff. We see a 3-turn version of it. It's very good. It also, when this happens, the duration will go down by 1, right? So she can only intercept 3. So there's this cool like play here of like protecting herself. And then if they lose their divinity, they go to Night Night. They go honk shoe. This will probably not happen terribly often, but we do have a conditional 2-turn sleep on a rare. That's pretty strong, right? And I hope this gives them the room to give the unconditional 2-turn sleep to Loki. Because now this is actually making Loki's core look quite bad, right? Anyway, let's continue. We attack 1 time, 3 times. Each hit decreases the turn meter. If the turn meter is under charm, decrease the turn meter of all enemies instead. Good, right? This is a strong effect. And then obviously this is a rare kit. So it's a little awkward because you have to do core into ultimate to make this work. And that's okay, right? It's okay if there's a little bit of awkwardness in these rare kits. Quite a low cooldown as well. When an enemy under charm has their turn meter and divinity increased, this hero gains the same amount. Okay, so she's really playing with this this turn meter and divinity increase, and then at certain way place charm with the highest attack for 2 turns. Phenomenal, right? You're going to be redirecting damage to slayers. This is very good. This is definitely worth taking her to Awakening 5 for. Also, it enables this now, makes this less awkward. Good rare. This is a good disruptor. I hope they use charm more often. I think charm and divinity steal and divinity decrease is a space that disruptors need to be in more. And I'm glad to see them in this space. Phenomenal. She is definitely a stable lady. All right. This is Enkidu. This is this is Gilgi's friend, right? And we see here he has a Gilgamesh thing here. So we attack with a decent hit. We heal for 30%. Wait, you heal for 30? This like healing symbol is messing me up. We heal for 30% of the damage inflicted, and if Gilgi's on the team, he'll join the attack. Good. Yeah, it's kind of basic, kind of gets the job done, and it brings in Gilgamesh, which is a fine person to bring in. So we attack everyone. We're going to decrease their speed by 10. Sure. And so we actually see, once again, we see this design space where our disruptors are going for this inevitability, right? I'm going to lower your speed. Hey, I'm going to heal as well, right? Myself. So eventually I'm just going to outvalue you, right? Instead of just having this really potent upfront effect, I'm just going to grind out value over the course of the battle. And if it's a strong hit, we will increase the damage by 20% of the target's attack. I don't see why this can't just be 100% of the target's attack. Like, this is, you're asking me to get a strong hit. This is no damage at all. It just isn't, right? We learned this with like the Lamashtu numbers. Like 20% of attack, of anyone's attack, isn't enough, even if you're using it against them. So I would like to see this like 100% minimum, right? And I'd even want more, like 200. If it's a strong hit, I need it's hard to make strong hits work, man. What are you? You're Eternal. It's even harder. It's even harder to make this work. Like, Eternals are one of the worst strong hit champions in the game. Not because they can strong hit everybody, but like for someone like Ares, I can bring him into wisdom content and he gets a 30 strong hit chance, like head start. Well, this guy's only going to be doing 10%, right? He's so far behind already, right? Obviously his passive gives him 15, right? But Ares' passive also gives him more strong hit chance for free. That being said, I think this is a great passive for a rare, but just be aware this is a high ask you're asking for, especially with no sharpen in the kit. So I have to bring someone in for sharpen. Like if I go through all those hoops, I want more money for it, right? I want more payoff for it. I am very happy that they're more willing to do hit random enemies. This really helps single target damage dealing. I think that the biggest issue this game is going to struggle with is when you're fighting a boss, how you can compete with max HP. This is your answer. These multi-hit randoms that actually do a good chunk to a single target. This is the answer to max HP, right? You know, I have two options. I can do the max HP route, or I can do these pretty good multi-hits onto a single target, right? Because this is bad in wave content, right? When everyone's alive, but the less people that are alive, the better this becomes. And then when there's one person alive, this becomes like extremely good, right? So I'm glad they're doing this space more. And this is a space they shouldn't be afraid of. This is actually a phenomenal space. Each hit puts blunt on the target, and then a strong hit will put blunt too. Sure, right? This can stop blunt 1 can stop stray like other Eternals hitting him. Yeah, he's fine, man. Like a rare Eternal I keep saying bruiser brawler. Sure. This is cool. Whenever he does a strong hit too. Good kit. Very good. Gilgi has a good friend. Let's continue. So we got the pups. We got Odin's puppies. This is Freki, right? Freki. He's cool. Right? So he is a brawler. And what is he doing here? Attacks one enemy with a 50% chance to put 2 stacks of bleed. If Gears on the team, increase the chance to place bleed. And if Odin's on the team, activate the bleed after attacking. So for those of you who don't know, Odin's core will give these guys 100% turn meter. So the play pattern for these guys are going to be the dogs are going to go first. You're going to use the core of the dogs. The Odin's going to go and confuse everybody. And then they're probably going to do their basic. And so we're going to attack one enemy with a 70% chance to place vulnerable. And then if they're under 5 more stacks, place curse as well. So it's going to start with him placing vulnerable. Odin's going to go and he's going to put some bleeds on him, right? And this probably books to 100% chance if you have Geri on the team as well, right? Because Geri increases the chance by 25. Books probably give you 25. You're good to go, right? You're cooking. And then lastly, we have a freeze. This is solidifying that the best disruptors are brawlers, right? For 1 turn. And if they're on the team, increase the divinity to by 30%. This is actually big. 30% divinity is a lot, right? This team is actually terrifying. If you're going to use 3 team slots for it, it should be. And then lastly, when an ally is attacked, a 50% chance to activate all stacks of bleeds on the enemy attacker. Good. Right, I think we have another solid bleed setter here, right? 2 stacks, 100% chance to place. You know, this is kind of our. You can use team slots to kind of get a single target, guaranteed bleed setter. Something between, like I said, between Achilles and Dracula, right? For 2 team slots, perfect. Good. He's good, right? He has a CC here, and he's doing the bleed stuff with good hits as well. So they're definitely not. A lot of times you see with these team ups is like you have a good character like Odin, right, who does quite well, but then the people that team up with him are bad because they get value from the synergy. And I'm glad that this character kind of stands up on his own without the synergy. Like if I pulled this guy, let's say the game gives me a flawless ether stone to start, right? And I'm going for the legendary, but if I get Freki, I don't feel bad. Even though I don't have the parts of it, if this is my first epic, this is still going to do stuff, right? And so let's go to the other part of this. This is Geri, right? I love how he's looking right at the camera. He's like he's sniffing you, right? Dude, I love that. He looks like my puppy. He's a good boy. He's also Odin's wrath, so be aware of that. Anyway, let's continue. So like I said, we have this play pattern here of we're gonna core into basic. Honestly, for these guys, you might basic into core because it looks like their core. You know, like, this gives a buff. You definitely don't want to like waste your extra turn like losing this buff. So we attack. We're gonna place defense down. If Freki's on the team, we'll place blunt as well, and if Odin's on the team, we'll do a barrier. This is a good hit. We're gonna protect Odin, perfectly fine. Now this core is good. So we already know how good AoE Radiance is. The A5 giving us Retaliate. This is finally our second version of Retaliate. It's on an A5 Epic, which is a heavy price to ask for. I would have liked to see these two flipped. It gives Retaliate and then you get Radiance afterwards. These are two really strong buffs, by the way, right? But I don't like Retaliate just being locked behind Heimdall or in this case an A5 Epic. This is not something you're going to use. Like Heimdall is still the only Retaliator for a long time, right? Until someone gets an A5 Geri, which will take a while, right? Even if you're spending, it will take a fair bit to get the A5. But I'm glad they're willing to put the text down, right? This is something that a lot of people have been complaining about, and I agree with them, is Retaliate. If Retaliate is too strong of a buff to give out to people, it shouldn't be in the game. So either take it out completely or give it to a couple other people so that Heimdall's not a forced team slot into every single endgame team, right? Let's continue. Attack all enemies with a 60% chance to place Taunt. Good. If they're on the team, also place Terrify. Great. Also place a shield equal to the damage inflicted. Perfect. I'm glad that we have a barrier and shield. They're not overlapping with each other. Very good. When an ally falls below 50%, place Taunt the attacker for 2 turns. If Odin and Freki are on the team, prevent their death and fill the turn meter by 50%. Wow. Yeah, this is a great passive. This is actually also a great imprint as well. This is good. This is a good character. Yeah. I mean, even by himself, right? Even without the riders. I mean, like even in AoE Radiance is on a good hit. This is kind of a damage dealing defender, and then it gives you a little bit of DR to help your team stay alive. And then we're also going to be bringing attack down some portion of the time as well. Yeah, this is definitely kind of a really good like wave content person. With he's kind of bringing attack down. Just looking at his base kit without the other riders, bringing attack down and taunt, right? Good. Gozu. So Gozu is he's partners in crime with Mezu, right? So these two guard Yomi. They guard the interests of Yomi, which is the underworld for the Japanese, right? It's like this darkness place. And it's interesting here, Yang Wang is like King Yama from Dragon Ball, right? He's the keeper of the Chinese, the Tien underworld, right? So it's interesting to see we have this cross faction team up, right? Very cool, right? I haven't read this lore yet, so maybe it kind of explains it here, right? They work as a pair to share, however, Freki stays behind to guard Yomi, then he welcomes the new arrived dead or runs them down should they seek to escape. Yeah, that's the big thing, right? Is like these guys, they don't want anyone escaping Yomi, right? They don't want anyone escaping it. The dead are allowed to come in, but they're not allowed to leave, right? Once you eat the food of Yomi, you can never leave, and if you try to leave, these guys will smack you around, right? Anyway, so we have a stacking. Once again, we have these brawlers with this inevitability, losing 30% of your defense. Good. And then we heal, and then he heals the people for the same amount. And then we have attack all enemies before attacking place hex. So before attacking place hex, this is very good, right? And then if Mezu's on the team, he'll join with his core. Very strong, right? Joining with your core is absolutely phenomenal. Attack all enemies, steal their current HP. Okay, this is a lot of current HP damage, but it's not an incredible amount. The only thing you have to watch out for is if you can modify this number with crit damage or not. You don't want this to be steal 100% of their current HP. Make sure this, steal 20% is very, very good though, especially on an AoE. If the target's a boss, we'll steal 5% instead. Yep, that makes a lot more sense to me. If the other team raise their res, sure. If an ally's defeated, activate this ultimate against the attacker. We mean against the attacker. It's an AoE. Interesting. That is good. That's good. And then when enemy under hex is defeated, increase the HP of all allies by up to 28%. And it carries over between waves. Yeah. This could definitely help you swing above your weight class a little bit, right? If you're like, let's say you're on like Fafnir 8. And then, you might be able to clear Fafnir 9 or 10 because you can get these free stats here that carry over between waves. And that's something I definitely want to see more in the game is this like, this intentional, hey, I'm gonna buff up on the waves so I can deal with this content I usually can't deal with. That's what makes this character valuable. Great. We have this inevitability as well right here. Yeah, and then we have stealing HP as well. Good. This is very brawler. Very good. This guy. Talk about a troublemaker. Hattori Hanzo. Okay. So we're doing a lot of damage here. Or actually a low amount of damage. But then each hit will increase the damage of the next hit. Right? So this is like 300 attack instead of like 270. But then if you're under Vanish, you'll do another hit, which makes it like a normal hit, right? So it's kind of a weaker hit, but when you're under Vanish, it becomes a slightly stronger hit. Sure. And that's fine because this is an absolute beast of an attack. We are attacking at random, getting a 50% chance to place acid on the target for 2 turns. If they are under Vanish, remove Vanish, and then do max HP damage as well. So in wave content, this is not good, right? We talk about this attack for enemies at random. However, against bosses, this is phenomenal, right? Now, there's obviously counterplay of banish and remove buffs and stuff, right? And then you lose this rider, and then it's still a good hit against the boss, man. And that's kind of what we need to see in this game more is like good single target damage, and this is good single target damage, right? And it's also augmented with max HP. This guy is going to be one of the best boss killers in the game, which is good, right? And I think his wave content, he is a little weak, right? So then he places Vanish on this here for 2 turns, then he attacks one enemy, increase the damage inflicted up to 6% of the target's missing HP. Inflict increased damage up to 60% of the target's missing HP. Oh, that's good. Right. Okay. So if they're missing, that's too big of a number. That's way, way, way too big of a number, right? Because if they're at half HP, you're going to be doing like 30% of their HP. There should be like 10%. Like, it doesn't need to go that hard, right? Because unless I'm reading this wrong, increased damage up to 60% of the target's missing HP. If it's a strong hit, refund some of the divinity. Then we start with max divinity. Yeah. I'm a little confused at what this is doing. Is this actually saying, okay, you are missing 1,000 HP, just going to do 600 extra damage? That's how I read it. And if that's the case, that is very, very strong. This is way too big of a number. This should be like 10%, right? Yeah, 10 to 20%. 60 is really, really high. Like 20 would be like a pushed value, and then like 10 would be like an expected normal hit. And then we gain Vanish. With a gain Vanish, we have Ignore Defense and Guaranteed Strong Hit. So it's unclear if this will even matter against defense, right? Or if this will matter against defense. So a little unclear if this even affects how much this affects. It's still a good effect. And we have a Guaranteed Strong Hit, which again, it might not affect this. It might not affect this. It'll only affect this damage here. And then at A5, we get Vanish every turn. I think that this character reads very strong. I do not think he's nearly as strong as people make him out to be. Because, like, okay, let's walk through this character's kit. So he's going to start the battle. He's going to assassinate right at A5. And he's going to do 400 attack and then a guaranteed strong hit. My understanding is you can only strong hit people that you are the correct affinity against. So he cannot strong hit cunning, right? So you can only strong hit strength, eternal, and wisdom, right? So again, this passive only works against 3/4 of the cast, right? Let's just say it's a good hit here, right? You're doing 30% more damage. So it's a 520 hit, right? You don't have any missing HP, right? 'Cause it's the beginning of battle. And then you're going to do a kind of spread shuriken hit. Yeah, it's good, but I don't think it's like gig-up game breaking. I think against bosses, he's a good boss killer, right? Which is good. I'm glad to see an epic slayer that isn't. I'm glad to see a slayer that's not like I do AoE for ultimate, and then I have a good hitting basic. I'm glad to see that we have someone that actually can do single target damage, and like it looks really good. I tell you right now, in wave content, this is worse than a 400% attack AoE some amount of the time, right? In the beginning of battle, right? This character is not coming up and doing, 2000 attack to a single target at the beginning of battle. He is doing a 400 hit into a basically 400 AoE. Now this could stack and do a lot of damage. It's not going to do that very often. This character is a guy you're going to be escorting to the boss. He's going to help you on the waves a fair bit, right? He does do damage. But he's not this giga broken thing. He is just a well thought out single target rare that has a below average basic to make up for the power of his core and ultimate. I think he's a well designed hero. And I'm glad to see we're actually doing damage in this game now. Right? I don't think he's giga busted at all. And once again, he's only really, really good at A5, and A5 Epic Slayer should feel like he is a threatening damage dealer. That's all I have to say. Because without A5, and without even A3, he's fine, right? And then A5 pushes him to the next level, right? So I don't think he's giga busted. I just think that we haven't seen a good single target damage dealer, right? And I'm glad we see this because max HP is still going to do more damage than this, right? Unless he's under Vanish, right? Like Guan Yu is going to do more damage than this. Like, I don't think people understand how much damage Guan Yu does. I don't think how much damage you understand that 5% enemy max HP is, right? So I'm gonna say on this guy, I think I want to play with him before I call him broken. He's good. I'm going to build him, but I don't think he's going to be like game defining. He's not going to be on every arena team. He's not going to be on every tower team. Like, he is just a good option for a boss killer, right? Let's continue. Himiko. We have a disruptor, Eternal Disruptor. Okay. An epic. Yep. So we do 1 damage, place Corrupt for 1 turn. Corrupt is so good. Corrupt is a great debuff to be placing on your basic. Attack 4 times at random. Okay. So 4 times at random for a non-damaging ability is a nerf. But we are placing a knit up. And if the same target is hit, we have a chance to increase. This is good, right? And so this is basically saying, hey, against bosses, we're really going to stack these debuffs, right? Good. This is very good. Attacks enemies with chance place confuse. If the target's under disable, increase their divinity cost by 5. Yes. At max stats, decrease each target's divinity. Yeah. And then whenever it decreases a debuff, attack the divinity. Yes. So I saw the punchline for this character. And I wish I could show you that Eureka moment when I did my first recording. But my first recording was I was tired. I looked at it back and I was doing a lot of mumbling. I was like blah 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 blah, and you couldn't tell what I was saying. So that's why we're doing this instead. But anyway, right here we have a knit down with corrupt. This is the Zame killer, right? That's the punchline. We're gonna put corrupt on dismay for 2 turns, right? He's going to ultimate, which I think it's the steel buff one, and then we're gonna lose 1 stack of corrupt, and then he's going to use his core, which gives him 2 random buffs. So corrupt will take 1 of them, but if he's under a knit down, he only does 1, right? So the idea is you have enough time to set up your corrupt, you have enough time to set up your knit down, and then he'll have 1 stack of corrupt when he uses his core, and then he won't put a buff on himself, so he won't get his stack, right? And he's also against that boss. You're trying to you want to use debuffs more than you want to use buffs on yourself. So the ability to extend the duration of debuffs as he runs through his extra turns, right? Actually, using his ultimate won't lower his corrupt. Well, I don't know what I'm saying, but like he does do extra turns, which will burn through the debuffs faster. So this helps counteract the extra turns. This is extremely well thought out counter to a boss that will work in other content as well. And then the confuse will just help you get to the boss, right? This is you'll do this on wave 2, right? Probably at the end of wave 2, just to help you clean up the boss. So you'll be at Zame at full HP. Phenomenal. This is a character that has use outside of the boss as well, but then obviously at the boss fight is doing great. Ooh, I love it. I love to see disruptors actually like feeling good, right? Without being just giga broken. All right, we have an epic invoker. We're attacking all enemies. We're putting attack up on the hero with the highest attack. Has a 20% chance to place an extra turn. So this is, you don't have a big attack stat here. So like, even though it's an AoE attack, this is not going to be doing that much damage. This is honestly kind of a detriment because you're going to be triggering stuff like radiance and you're going to be triggering all kinds of stuff. When people get attacked, they get divinity, for example, as well. Like this is not good, but it gives a really good effect here. And then we have a chance to cycle extra turn. We are cycling to speed and initiative up on 2 allies. So this is not a good arena thing here if you're trying to be like this bursty arena team, right? Because what makes like Apothecary good for arena and such like that is the turn meter boost part, right? The Quetzalcoatl as well. The turn meter boost part's the good part, not necessarily the speed up, although it is nice to have. So this is kind of for longer battles. And so you really want her to go last on your team, actually. And then your entire team goes, and they're pretty quick. And then at the end, you give them speed up when they have a low turn meter. So they have speed up for 2 full turn meters. And we are cycling back to that speed up. So she's kind of a value engine over time where she's making sure your attacker has his buff, and then making sure giving speed up, which is a good buff. And then for those of you who don't know, speed and knit are antagonistic to each other. The faster the team goes, the less ultimates are built. And so this knit up is not like, don't think of it as, oh, I'm getting my ultimates faster. It's more of, I'm going to get my ultimates about the same rate with this speed up because speed up is antagonistic to initiative, right? So it's well thought out, right? You're going to build your ultimates at the same kind of rate in terms of your turns taken. Good, right? So this is an energy. This is definitely a for these two. It's definitely a value generation, right? Attacks the Enemies 9 times at random. Each hit triggers a random buff. Heal the lowest ally. Increase the divinity of the lowest. Increase the divinity of the ally with the lowest divinity. Increase the turn meter of the ally with the lowest turn meter. Then she'll do the same. And then whenever they use an ultimate, 2 random allies will join in. Okay, and this is a good imprint as well. So this kit kind of reads inevitability to me. So I really wish this was a buff that benefited brawlers. I wish that there was a HP up buff that raised your max HP for a turn or two. Because if this was HP up, like, she's the ultimate brawler support, right? Like, because we kind of have this inevitability, this value engine, right? And then if she was buffing your highest HP unit, right, with attack up, and then just doing a lot of good things without focus, that's value, right? That's not really, you can't really combo that. And then once again, this is value for longer fights as well. This screams inevitability to me. Like, you're getting a bunch of small value here and there, which will add up a lot over time of the course of battle. That's very a brawlery playstyle. It's not really a Slayer playstyle, right? So I wish there was a generic damage up buff that worked for everybody. Because attack up kind of feels bad here. Because Slayers kind of want to like decide the battle in the first like turn or two. They want to take out a key target. And that's not really what she wants to do. Anyway, let's continue. Still good. A little confused though, but still good. We have Jui Tian, the Dark Lady. And she's a disruptor. Okay. She doesn't work. That's fine. Okay. Li Niao Masa is a rare Slayer Eternal. Okay. Attacks one enemies, has additional chance to crit hit, decreases the turn meter. If the target is below 50%, decrease turn meter by 20% instead. Good. Right, that's good. Right, Slayer's decreasing turn meter is good. Extra crit hit is always good too. It's a little awkward to build around, but you'll get used to it, right? And it looks like all his abilities have it as well, which is obviously kind of mandatory. Attack all enemies, 300% attack with additional crit chance. If more enemies arrive, repeat the attack. That's good. I imagine this is not recursive. I imagine this is just, you know, a one and done, right? So he's like an anti-boss killer, right? He's the guy you bring in to help deal with the waves. I mean, he has a decent basic, right? But against a single target, his basic actually does more than his core does, which is good, right? I don't think the game should be you just want to press core every time it's up. I think this character, I think Dirk talked about that on my interview with him, right? Anyway, let's continue. Attack one enemy, good hit. And then, so we have this kind of notion. We saw this with Zeppo Totek, right? With that's the character that Hell Hades uses. We have this single hit into a sweep hit. Very strong ability here. If we kill the initial target, the second hit will ignore defense and place Banish. So ask me to kill a target is kind of a big deal. I want to be ignoring more defense, like 25% ignore defense. Yeah, it's still really good. I mean, this is a rare too, right? Maybe 20%, but I'll take this man and then place Banish on the target as well. On the target. So he's staying dead. And then we do more damage for each living enemy. So this guy is really just doing damage to a group of people. Yeah, I mean, he's a great... We've really been struggling Slayers that are just good buff holders. Because we have Vivian giving out a lot of good offensive buffs. We have Freya giving out a lot of good offensive buffs. But I feel like people to hold those buffs have been lacking. And I think this is a great guy to hold those buffs, right? Especially ones that come from cores like Vivian's does, right? Where, you can core with Vivian, core with this guy, and this guy's going to be absolutely nuking, right? Yeah, he's a great buff holder, right? At the rare level as well. Good. And like I said too, these are rares. I could take this guy to 60, man. If I was really struggling for not a boss killer, right? Because I think we always have Guan Yu, right? But if I have struggle with the waves, this guy does enough damage to help clear waves with you, right? Good. Luoshen. Sounds like ocean, but she's in the river. These invokers have, like, they don't know what they're doing. She's supposed to be ocean, and she's in the river. Anyway, is she epic? Yeah, she's an epic invoker. She's gonna be placing Vanish on herself. Also plays Vanish on the ally with the lowest turn meter at Awaken 3. Okay, we're placing Vanish. Vanish is a pretty weak debuff. However, it's been having pretty strong rider effects recently. So we're placing Speed Up and Stalwart on all enemies. And then Han Yi is on the team. Increase duration by 3, and these buffs cannot be removed. So Han Ho Yu Yi must be a ladies' man, because the ladies love to give him more buffs, or like better buffs. So Speed Up and Stalwart once again is kind of this value engine buffs, right? Without the turn meter boost. This is not the explosive power we're used to have, like Apothecary and stuff in Raid. Without the turn meter part, this is just strictly a value engine. It's a good value engine too. So far, okay. Oh, okay. So increased duration of all buffs and allies. This is already a phenomenal champion. I don't like this cost a lot. I think it should cost a little bit less. But increased duration of buffs, decreased duration of debuffs, and then give him a turn meter bump. Perfect. Perfect. This line of text alone, good enough for me, man. Right? And then here's turn, increase turn meter to the ally with the lowest turn meter by 10, and then instead increase the turn meter of all allies instead. Okay. I changed my mind about everything. This Awaken 5 character. Oh, she's in arenas? Yeah. This is your arena team booster. This is your epic arena team booster. In arena at Awaken 5. This is a 10% turn meter boost with a speed up. And with Stalwart as well. Yeah, this is your arena team booster. Cool. So this is before you get like Quetzalcoatl. It's be Awaken 5 to get the full effect though. But you can, if one guy's speed's not quite fast enough, you can kind of help, if your damage dealer, for example, you can give him a quick bump up with this. Good. She's very good. Very, very good. She has a very clear focus of what she wants to do. And she also, wants to place Vanish on herself as well. That's a little weird, but it's fine. This is definitely something that shouldn't just, it's fine. It's fine. Who's this guy? Ma Xiao. So he is a rare Eternal Slayer. Attacks one enemies 2 times. Each hit has just placed defense down. If it's a strong hit, place defense down 2 instead. Okay. Place Sharpen on this hero for 2 turns, then attack all enemies. So he's placing Sharpen on himself to help us hit these strong hits here. If it's a strong hit, it'll deal an additional 1% of the target's max HP. Perfect. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each one with a trigger hit will place either a knit down, attack up on himself, ignore defense if it's a strong hit, and then wait. There's 3 random effects, right? A knit down, attack up, ignore defense with a. Oh, and they're improved if you're a strong hit. Okay. If it's defeated, increase the divinity of all slayers by 20%. This is not going to occur once per turn. Okay. For a rare, that's great. Increases hero strong hit chance by 10. Strong hits do extra damage. Ooh, wait. An imprint that just gives you 10% strong chance with 10% more damage. Okay. This character's good. I like to see more strong hit support in the game, and we're finally starting to get it as well. What I would like to see instead, I think if I had to make a small change. Oh, this ultimate has a low cooldown as well. This is definitely a rare. This is good. Yeah, this is good. I have no notes. This is good. I mean, there's stuff I would change a little bit, but he's bringing the heat, man. He's bringing the heat. Good. Mezu, our other boy, right? So remember that Mezu and Gozu. Gozu's bringing Mezu with his core, so his core has more impact than you might read here. Just read here. I want to read. So Mezu and Gozu are the guardians of the overworld. Yep. They must perform the identical duties working together. However, he leaves behind to guard. He frequently travels out into Izumo to guide the sea souls of Yomi if they're lost. Okay. So he gets them from Yomi. So why are they friends with Yang Wang then? Right? Like they might have to go read Yang Wang. I'll leave that to the reader, right? But like he is Tian, right? Like am I crazy? This isn't a story thing. I don't care though. I want to know. We're gonna go figure this out real fast. Tian. Yeah, so he is Tian. Merciful Judge of Diao, Tian's underworld. The only to sees the suspicion of the dead. He views Riven as an affront. Yes, that makes sense for him. For Destiny's reordering removes some of the souls of his domain through resurrection. Prevents others from dying when they should have. He has petitioned to the celestial bureaucracy to correct this wrongdoing and endeavor to see the influence spread far beyond. Interesting. It's so interesting that there has to be a story beat because they're not from the same place. Like this is a cross realm team up, right? Interesting. And this probably has to do with the Council of Shadows as well. So I wonder if they're like in the Council of Shadows. There's no record of them saying for they're part of the Council of Shadows here. So maybe they're not. Maybe they're kind of against it, right? Maybe they're antagonistic to the Council of Shadows. Anyway, sorry. Back to the no. This is not a lore video, dude. I can't wait to see the lore, man, of this game. Anyway, let's continue. Attacks all enemies, places curse on them for 2 turns. When an ally is attacked, a chance to retaliate with this ability. Very, very good. It's a decent AoE hit, and then you're also bringing him into a retaliate. Perfect. Attacks 1 enemies 3 times. And before attacking, 50% chance to place drain on the target. Sure. If Gozu's on the team, he'll attack with his core. Right. So, it's a single hit though. Right. So Gozu's is a multi hit. Okay. And he's a defender. This is a weird defender for sure. So he attacks everyone. This is a very big hit. I'm very happy with the space of this, like bad in AoE. Like the number is just enough for it. It's bad as an AoE hit, but it's good as a single target hit. Like very good as a single target hit. I love this space. Each hit will place taunt and then decrease the attack. Yes. And if they're on the team, they'll get accuracy, which doesn't really matter. Each hit will give them accuracy. Sure. Each hit decreases the attack. Sure. This is great. If an ally is defeated, activate this ultimate against the attacker. The Seers of India will not be. Yes. This is very good. Very good. Like these kits, even if they're not good, even if they end up sucking in game, they're inspiring. This makes me want to build this character. This makes me like, oh, what can I do with this, right? And the answer may be nothing, right? But it's interesting. It's very interesting. When an enemy is under drain, is defeated, increase the defense of all allies. Okay, so it's the other side of this thing. It's harder to place this drain though, because this drain is a single target versus Gozu's AoE hex. So be aware of that. This is harder to stack up. Still could be just as worth it though, right? But it lets you swing above your weight class. As actually together, right? You can probably accept a speed tune where you know, you're all your allies and you have like 25% more defense and HP. That's interesting, right? And that's good. Like interesting is good, right? It's also good for the bottom line of Fateless as well. Because if I use a character that is interesting, right, and I spend money and resources and time into building that character, and I'm like, hey, this was cool, but it didn't help progress my account. That's great news for Fateless, right? Because I still need to progress my account, so they still need money from me even more. But I also had fun. It was a fun exchange. Like, oh, I tried Gozu and he was fun, but it didn't quite work. Right? Having kits that are interesting that don't quite work is just as is fine, right? It's good for Fateless. It's good for me too, because sometimes they will work. That's fun. We have a rare invoker here in Muse. So Muse, turn meter up, sure. Revive a dead ally, don't care. Initiative up on allies, don't care. Increase divinity of allies by 200, do care. And then if no allies are revived, gain next turn. Ooh, yes. Okay, this is good. This is good. Good. Play sharpened attack up on allies for 2 turns. It decreases divinity with the lowest divinity by 3%. Very good. Very good. 1,000 divinity for this too. Very good. When an ally reaches for divinity, their next ultimate refunds 10% of their cost. Yeah, this is a character enabling ult teams, right? This is like a mini Izanagi with a little bit of cycling as well. Perfectly in line with a rare invoker. It's not doing a crazy amount of stuff, but it is bringing some. These buffs make me happy, right? Even if it's the first version of them, I'm very happy with these. On a low cooldown, and we're getting some divinity. We're getting divinity, and then we're bumping turn meter. Solid kit, right? Not game changing. I'm not going to take this to 6-star, but I'm very happy to use this until I find a better invoker, a better offensive invoker. But I'm very happy to use this, right? Until I get, you know, the Freyas, the Vivians, the whatever. Sure. Perfect. Mistress of Seduction. Who wants this to be their title? She's a disruptor, epic disruptor. Attacks when enemies, decrease the target's divinity by 5%, decrease by a further 5% for each debuff they're under. That is a lot of. You're losing a lot of turn meter there, or a lot of divinity there. Okay. So we have this. This has the new scaling as well. So as a disruptor, she actually does some amount of damage here. Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine if there's some disruptors that do a lot of damage. So attack one enemy. Swap divinity with the target. 80% chance to place initiative down. If this hero's ultimate is available after attacking, gain an extra turn. You have 2,000 divinity cost. Your ultimate's not going to be ready after swapping. There are very, very, very few characters in the game that have the divinity needed to fill your divinity meter. And it's weird because you're going to be stealing divinity at your A5. So it's actually going to be rare that you have less divinity. Unless this is a percentage switch. In that case, it's very good. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, attack all enemies, place confused, sure. If they're under confused, well, after attacking, decrease the divinity. We hate divinity here. When enemy activates the divinity, when enemy activates their ult, decrease the divinity. So this is your anti. So we talked about this a little bit before, right? If you are building your game to have ultimates be another way to build instead of speed, you need characters that attack that as well, disrupt that game plan. And this character disrupts this game plan very well. I think one of the teams that people postulate is what if you have a really fast character with a bunch of people with ultimates, right? And you just go through the line and you click all their ultimates. This is the counter to that, right? You're going to click the first ultimate and then everyone's going to lose their divinity and then you can't ult again. So this is the counter to the to the ult team, right? That's like just trying to like turn one, cast 5 ultimates and put a dent in the opponent's team. So we have the answer to that, right? And this is also like even the imprint is phenomenal. Like these imprints have been good too. Like in the past, one of the critiques I've had for Fateless is like, hey, there's actually only like 5 imprints in the game, right? Maybe like, and if you count situational, maybe 10, right? Every other imprint I'm not gonna use. This imprint is good, and a lot of these imprints we've been looking at are good, right? So it's a real choice of like, hey, do I want to keep this lady around, or do I only care about getting just getting this this effect? Very good, very very good. Nebuchadnezzar, Conqueror King. He's a defender. Okay. Attack someone, restores allies, destroy HP. I don't understand while I'm reading a defender's kit, and the first thing I read is restoring destroyed HP of my heroes. That seems really outside the wheelhouse of a defender. Should be fine though. If there's no HP to destroy, heal the ally instead. If an ally, okay, so most of the time we're just gonna be heal for 10% of the damage inflicted to all allies. That's good. This is good. Okay. It's just so destroying HP actually disrupts this heal. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a chance to place attack down. I think that attack down is a buff, a debuff in defenders camps. I don't know why this isn't 100% chance to place. Just kind of weird, right? In this book's to like, let's say this book's to like 75% chance. There's still like a 5% chance you miss this. I don't know. Seems weird. If it was attack down 2, I'd understand, right? But like a single target attack down 1 should be guaranteed for a for a defender, right? Especially this is like of these 2, this is the only real way he's protecting your team, right? Now, obviously, here we have Stalwart, and then we have Protect all allies for 2 turns. Then we have a barrier on this guy. This is a great package of buffs. It has a bit of a long cooldown. That's what I'm saying. This isn't coming out until turn 2 or 3, even with the initial, right? So you're not really protecting your team until turn 3, which is not what defenders need to be doing. They need to protect their team against Slayers, which start their onslaught on turn 1, right? So, and then can you even if you have Art of War, you may be able to if with enough initiative, you may be able to hit this on your first turn. But quite peculiar. This should be 100%, so you can at least protect yourself against the worst threat on their team while you're building up to this. A very decent package. I mean, the barrier is actually kind of low though, right? Like on himself, he's gonna need more barrier, man. Like this is a lot of damage. Then he gets DR whenever a hero receives damage from Protect, right? So maybe that'll help keep him alive. At maximum stats, all allies receive 10% more. Yeah, he is a he's an interesting defender. He's a defender that's like trying to protect his team in like a weird roundabout way. But once you like set up shop with this ultimate, he's actually quite good. This barrier is a little weak though. I think this barrier needs to be like 200% defense. Yeah, I think this barrier needs to be like 200% defense, and then I'm pretty happy with it. Sure. Yep. Then we have this lass here. This is the lass that kind of ruined Egypt for her and her husband. Really destroyed Egypt, actually, their culture and whatever. And that's why King Tut and Ramsey are so famous, because they had to undo what she and her husband did. So we hate her. She's the biggest the biggest threat to the realm. Attack one enemy. 75% chance to decrease the turn meter by 5. If they're on a speed down, increase it by 10 instead. It's like kicking sand in your face if you're down. Losing turn meter when you're under speed down is brutal. Yeah, it's like kicking sand in your face. Attack one enemy, a chance to place charm. Very good. Very, very good. Already this kit is like... It's doing what it needs to do, right? It's not doing anything crazy, but it's doing good, right? Attack enemies with a chance to put speed down for 2 turns. And then decrease the turn meter of each target by 10. And then place speed down to on the target instead. Okay. I was going to say, there should be speed down 2, was not 100% chance, but this is good. So speed down 2 and awaken 5. With like a 75% chance for speed down 2 and then decrease the turn meter by 10. Yeah, this is a pretty solid, pretty clear cut, like turn meter speed disruptor with a nice charm for protection. It's good. It's really good. Something I'm interested in is how many rare oh, she's cunning. I thought she was eternal. That must be the other that's Necrochris, right? I was gonna say, like, something I've been thinking about is there's not that many rare eternal characters. Like the pool is quite small. So I think A5ing a rare eternal character might actually be easier than it seems. Because the pool is so small at the beginning of the game. That's something I want to think about, right, more. So let me know if you want to watch a video on that. I'd be down to like share my thoughts on that more. You know, I haven't explored it yet. So basically explore it and share my thoughts on it. If you have any topic you want to cover, right, as we're getting close to Godforge, right, I plan to release a video once a week and kind of get back on my regular schedule here, and kind of just like get caught up so everyone's on the same page with like the thought process of Godforge. So anyway, let's continue though from here. Ninsun. She is a epic invoker. Attacks one enemy, then heals all allies 10% of their max HP. This is worse than the rare. Just make it your max HP. It's okay. You can copy and paste, and then excess healing is yeah. Just give her the same one as Chien. This is fine. Remove debuffs. Place mend. Sure. If Gilgi's on the team, oh, this is Gilgamesh's mom. Yeah, this is Gilgamesh's mom. If Gilgi's on the team, remove 2 debuffs and place 2 mends instead. Is that on everybody? And then she removes all debuffs from this hero. Yeah, I this is good, right? Just give this, change this to your max HP. And it's really good. Revive someone, block debuffs on all allies, and restore allies to HP. We'll block debuffs if there's no dead allies. Sure, right? So this is a really good like anti-debuff character. And then allies receive more from healing effects. This character is really solid. I just don't know why you don't give her the better version. Give her the version where she heals off of her HP. Right? If you give it that, then this is a great defensive. I mean, it's already a great defensive character, right? And also, you're probably gonna put in I don't even know, right? But good. So they're actually healing for like 13 of their max HP every turn. Plus they have mend, which is that 5% for mends? Yeah, this is fine. Continue. Ninurta. Okay. So Ninurta here, I noticed last time that he has different scalings. So this is defense scaling. This is HP scaling. That's a bit peculiar. So he is a defender. So he should be doing defense scaling. Do we attack and place a barrier on this hero for 10% of the damage inflicted? It's a good hit, and if we retaliate, we do an AoE, which will make this barrier actually massive. And then attack an enemy, or 3 random enemies, right? So this is really good damage. Very, very good damage. Each has a chance to place taunt on a target for 1 turn. I would like this to read. Yeah, he's not retaliating in this kit, right? And it's really hard to get retaliate. There's only two sources, right? There's only Geri and Heimdall, right? So we're not really retaliating here. Interesting. So I wonder if one of these will get, maybe he'll put retaliate on himself for here. And if he did that, that'd be obviously a great A5. Necromancer plays AoE Aether Burn, right? And then if it's a boss plays attack down instead. Interesting. So I notice as a defender, he doesn't have a way to like protect your allies. Oh, no, it's his passive, yeah. 20% chance to redirect an enemy's attack from an ally to this hero. This hero increases the turn by 20%. The chance increased by 10 if they're under Aether Burn, which he places on his ultimate on a pretty low cooldown as well. Yeah, this is cool. So he kind of has this built-in intercept. And we're seeing more and more dangerous AoE or single target attacks, which is making intercept a more prominent buff, which it should be, right? And that's very good. Yeah, this character, he's a very offensive, you know, I imagine his multipliers are good here, right? I mean, they're good for a brawler. So I imagine when they change this to a defender one, he is protecting with taunt a little bit, and he also is giving attack down. He's a very offensive defender, which is cool. Very good. I'm very happy with all these kits. Now these kits are like embarrassing to me, which is a word I had to use sometimes against the other kits. I hope we move in this direction. I hope we fix the old kits, right? But let us continue here. We have Odysseus. Odysseus is a disruptor, an epic disruptor. We're placing an accuracy down. Sure. 50% to place accuracy down is kind of like, just, he's a disruptor. Just let him place this bad debuff. Like, accuracy down is not a debuff that matters unless it's 100% of the time where I can plan around it. I'm not going to play around a 50% accuracy down. I'm going to pretend it's not there. He's a disruptor. Give him 100%. It's not a, what's the word? Actually, with the change to how scaling works with, like Morgan Le Fay and Raw, this is actually more relevant. Interesting. This should just be 100% chance. I don't see why it's I guess he's an epic. It books to 75. It's probably fine. It's annoying. Anyway, attacks when enemy. If the target's above 50%, set the turn meter to 50. If they're below, put speed down. There is a weird spot here where this only like gets rid of like 1% of turn meter, which is really bad. And then but like if it's above like 70, it's really good. So if you're having a speed race and you lose to Odysseus and he smacks you, lose half of your turn meter, right? If you were at like basically full and you lost a speed tie, it's really good. Yeah, sure. This is fine. And then, you know, if they beat you, you put speed down on them. This is actually really impactful in the first turn. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Tackle enemies, 50% chance to place confuse. And when they're confused, he gets turn meter. No. This is a long cooldown. This, like, a 50%, to roll the dice on 50%, this needs to be like sub 1,000, right? This is a disruptor that has, this is useful but weird, man. Like, he has no solid footing in his kit, and his passive relies on this confuse. So if you want to keep it, not 100% chance to confuse, I need to roll that dice more, right? I need to roll that dice more. It can't be this doomsday level ultimate. Like 1600 for me is the start of like ultimates that should fundamentally warp the game. I have a non-damage dealing effect. I'm not going to build damage on this guy, right? And then I'm rolling a dice on a 1-turn confuse. No, this is stupid. This is not good. If you want me to roll dice on this, this needs to be like 900 to 1,000, right? This can't be 1,600. And if you want to make it 100%, then sure. Because if you're afraid of epics being too strong, confuse is a strong effect, right? Don't get me wrong. But you know, this needs to be 100% if it's going to be doomsday level, right? It's the Trojan horse too. Like, come on. He's weird. He's not very good. He needs a tune up. This is very impactful though. The problem is though is like after turn 1, the turn meters are going to get messed up all of a sudden. Or when you cycle back to this on like turn 3 or 4, this is going to be like messed up here. And so he has no solid footing. Like he has this weird core and then no solid footing to like kind of support the weird core. And so if you made this more solid, then he'd be really good. But I don't think he brings enough to warrant him being good. Let's continue. We have Onryo spirit. She looks like a drowned spirit. No, she's a ghosty. She looks like the people you take a picture of in Fatal Frame. Right? Don't they have this like vibe to them? Very like Silent Hilly too. I mean, definitely Japanese. 1000% Japanese. Anyway, we can just read what she is. Those who are badly wrong sometimes made too resentful. She's a spooky ghost. Okay. I mean, yeah, we talked about Fatal Flame and like Silent Hill. Those are spooky ghosts. Anyway, what are we? We're a disruptor. We attack twice. Each hit places vulnerable. Sure. If they're under curse, a chance to spread a debuff. Okay. And then we put curse. Yeah. So we have an AoE curse, and then we have a vulnerable. The first hit could place vulnerable, and then the second hit could spread the vulnerable. Makes perfect sense to me. If we attack all enemies, decrease their divinity by 5, we'll decrease a further 5 for each debuff available on the target. If they're under curse, they increase the duration of curse by 1. It's kind of a lot though. A lot of divinity just for reducing my opponent's divinity by like, it's a lot, but she's only bringing 1-2 debuffs. When attacking an enemy under curse, trigger one of the. Oh, okay. She brings more here. That's right. So this one here, I kind of see as like we're rolling the dice. We want to get one of these disables. And then these two are kind of like a nice consolation prize. And then Hex is kind of like your loser compared to the other two. Enemies under curse receive 25% reduced Terminator divinity effects. That's fine. Yeah, she's cool. She's a rare, right? Yeah, she's rare. Fine. Perfectly fine. She's weird. She's bringing vulnerable, though. Bringing vulnerable, bringing curse, and then she's kind of like, once they're under curse. That's probably why her ultimate's such a high level, because it's an AoE that you can do after the core. I still think this is a little too high. I think like 1,200. I think all. I don't know. I heard whispers in the wind that they're looking at their initiative system right now. Right. I heard something from, I think Susie in the CC chat said something about it. And then it was sent to me by Bionic Bloke, actually. Phenomenal guy. He's also in our Pantheon. And yeah, he's like, I wonder, I hope that if they don't change it, I hope they just squish all these ultimate costs down. This is really high for what it's doing. Let's continue. Poludnitsa, Lady Midday. Okay. So we attack one enemy twice. It's a good hit. If the trim is above 50, we steal. Wait a second. This is the biggest Terminator drop I've seen, right? Like on a basic, this is a lot, especially stealing it. And if they're below, we do an extra hit. This is incredible. This is actually incredible. Attacks all enemies twice. target's above 50%, deal max HP. The target's below, ignore defense. It's a little weird. I want to be ignoring more defense. Just a little bit more. It's probably fine. It's a weak hit, though. For a core that doesn't do anything. Like, I'm trying to execute these people. This actually should just do execute damage. Like, who does the 60% of missing HP? That's Hanzo, right? Hanzo's ultimate. This should do the same thing. This should be do 10% of the target's missing HP. And if they're above 50%, you do 10% of the, or you do this on them on above 50%, and then below 50%, you should just do missing, right? That's cool. Or just do missing in general. Like, you want this to be stronger. The more HP they have, just do missing, right? That'd actually be really cool to do missing HP on that one. Attacks all enemies. If the divinity's above 50, you'll steal divinity. If divinity's below, you'll place Aether Burn. Keep it down. If the target already has Aether Burn, increase the duration instead. It's kind of a nothing burger because she's not like Aether Burn's pretty rare in general. And then activate. Yeah. But like it's an Awaken 5 Slayer doing this Aether Burn thing with a low, like she's not going to trigger herself. When an enemy's divinity reach 50%, increase the damage of this next hero's ability by 10. Wait. Whoa. Wait, each hit steals divinity. Wait. So there are worlds where you, like, they're at like 50, right? And then, so you do this and you steal a ton of divinity, right? Let's say like 70% divinity you steal. And then you're placing Aether Burn on them, right? Because each hit will steal divinity, and each hit will place Aether Burn. So there are like weird worlds where, like, you know, they went above 50, so this did a decent chunk to them. They went below 50, and then you Aether Burn them, so they go above 50, and then they get hit an Aether Burn proc, they go below 50. They go above 50 again, they get an Aether Burn proc, they go below 50. And then there's a chance that this hero could do double damage with their next ability. And especially if you can get this to be like, oh man, this is a big hit too. Like, I mean, there are worlds where like you do like over 1,000% attack on her basic after the ultimate. Wow. Yeah, this character can do a lot of damage. And like I said, she's very good. We talked about, like, there's not really a good buff holder in the game, right? She's kind of that buff holder as well, right? To start, yeah, very good. Poludnitsa is looking very, very good. We're also cunning as well, right? Good. Sargon, the wise. He's a defender. He brings in a dude. All right. Attacks when enemies, put attack down. Sure. Shields everyone. Places Radiance 1, and if they're from Iker, places Radiance 2 instead. Sure. And then increases the chance to receive a weak hit by 20%. That's good, right? So that's kind of his protection. This, it's attack down 2. No, this is fine. This is great. This is a shield of an okay. The shield's kind of low, but it does come with radiance. Yeah, this is fine. And then we kind of, this is kind of our heat here. Yeah, this is a fine character. This is absolutely fine. The ultimate cost is it is actually okay. Let's see, it could be squished a little bit, maybe with levels. I think alt costs go down with levels. That's how it was in the alpha. Yeah, if this go to like 1,000 with books, this kind of just gets the job done. Yeah, cool. Like not much to say, just a solid kit that's like a defender kit. We have the Disrupting Tengu. Okay. He's attacking someone, he's going to steal a buff, and if they're under Sleep or Corrupt, he just steals the buff. Okay. Cool. Now, we probably don't want this guy hitting a sleeping target. Okay. Attacks enemies, place Corrupt for 2 turns. I remember something. I said that Izanami, I think it was Izanami, or was it Pazuzu? One of the two. I was like, hey, they should do an AoE Corrupt for 3 turns. And someone's like, I forget who it was. It was a bunch of people like, no, that's too strong. But here we are with a rare doing it for 2 turns. Corrupt is only matters against people that buff themselves, and buffing is a very strong strategy. It is okay if you are brutal against strong strategies. Buffing is better than debuffing, right? I have to land this Corrupt with my accuracy check, right? You know, there are people that are throwing debuffs back at you with like Heimdall and Sphinx and stuff, right? It is okay if there's a character, namely Izanami, right? I think it was Izanami, that does a 3-turn Corrupt for an AoE, right? Like, that really shuts down that strategy, because if they're not corrupted, if they're not doing buffs, Corrupt doesn't do anything, right? So I think that an AoE 2-turn is perfectly fine for a disruptor. I think Corrupt is a great disruptor debuff, right? And then I think that a legendary disruptor should be able to do it for 3 turns. But I digress. Anyway, attack all enemies 6% sleep for 2 turns. If they're under Corrupt, do 3 turns instead. Loki, eat your heart out, man. Why can't Loki have a 2-turn sleep? I guess they're experimenting with this. 1,002. That's very good. This is what I was saying, right? Is like, we have sleep is a bad debuff that we're doing for 2 turns. It's not guaranteed either, but we get to roll the dice a lot here, man. Right? I think an epic who has a better debuff, a better disable for 1 turn, that has a lower chance to hit and a higher divinity cost. That's strange. Comparing Tengu to Odysseus is very strange indeed. It's okay if your disruptors are good. When this hero steals a buff from an enemy under Corrupt, a big ask, by the way, because if they have Corrupt, they probably don't have buffs. Let's continue. Decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 10. Increase the turn meter of this hero by 10. Okay, I get a lot for what you asked me to do, a big task, but I get a big reward from it. Sure, that's fine. Good kit, anti buff. The good Zame, right? Good rare Zame actually, right? I think I was complaining that there wasn't enough corrupts at the at the rare level. It looks like we have one for Zame now. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. There's something in my throat. It's been in my throat the entire time, and talking has only aggravated it, and we're almost done. And obviously, I'm not going to edit this video because, like, it's too long. Let's continue. Tomoe Gozen is a rare brawler. Okay. So we have a chance to do 1% max HP damage. They need to make this more formalized. Like enemy max HP damage, they need to stop. They need to get a syntax Bible for sure. It was a strong hit. Take an extra turn. I remember reading this last night, but I was so tired that, like, I don't think this dawned on me on how strong this is. What are we? We're a strength. If we're attacking into wisdom with sharpen, by the way, right? Like, sharpen 1 is a 15%, right? So there's a 45% chance to just take an extra turn under sharpen. Obviously, we'll run out of sharpen buff, but there has been a lot of strong hit support recently. We have a weapon and imprint as well. Like, this character may cycle infinitely. Like, honestly, this character may cycle infinitely. If you can do it without sharpen, right, you can just kill any wisdom person. And this is a good hit too. This is very, very strong. You might need to put a limited amount of times this can happen, right? But we talked about strong hits not having strong enough riders. This is a very strong rider. And we're cycling back to this. Play sharpen on this hero for 2 turns, then attack one enemy 3 times. Sure. Each hit reduces. Oh, yeah. We talk about the inevitability of brawlers. This is an inevitability. Strong hit destroys max HP due to the damage done. Yeah, inevitability, right? Brawlers have this inevitability, and I'm very happy to see this design keep going. It makes a lot of sense to me. And she's kind of hitting other slayers and other brawlers as well, right? Attacks one enemy before attacking, remove the target shield. If the target's under shield, increases strong chance by 10. If this attack has a strong hit, increases divinity by 20. I'd like to see this be a little bit lower, since we're not doing a ton of damage. Like, I'd like this to be the single target low pattern we see a lot, kind of with Akuma and Shinigami, right? Have this be like an 800, 900. But once again, it sounds like they're going to be changing the divinity system a little bit. So I hope that, you know, maybe this number is with that in mind. Increase this hero's crit damage by 5%. They attack the same target. Okay, so if we pound the same target, we eventually would do 30% more damage. Very good. Resets when attack a different target. At max stats, increases a strong hit by 10%. Oh no. Oh no. So the Wisdom clan boss better watch out. I think can we take infinite turns against the Wisdom clan boss is the question. So the Wisdom clan boss, we have 30, and then we can get 10 from her imprint. So that's 40. There's a weapon that gives 20. That's 60. And there's an imprint that gives 20. That's 80. So her sharpen will give her 95% chance. Clan boss, watch out. Especially just to pound away at its attack, right? And then obviously the 20% strong hit imprint needs to have max active bleeds as well. But even still, this is a very good kit. This is problematic. I'll say that right now. This is problematic. It should be like, how about this? Obviously, we want this to be strong. How about if this attack is a strong hit, use your core on the target. And believe it or not, that's actually weaker than this line of text, which is incredible to say. Like, or reset the cooldown of your core, right? Like this is incredibly strong and incredibly problematic. If you want a strong effect, which it's fine if you do, I think you should have one, right? For playing all the levers, you know, make it something that's not repeatable, right? Make something that's not like infinite. So like reset your core is a great example, right? So you have this cool cycle of like sharpen, strong hit, sharpen, strong hit, sharpen, strong hit, right? And then I can choose to do this in there as well. Very strong kit though. This is problematic. This is definitely going to be abused. We don't want to be taking infinite turns. Like that's definitely not something we want to do. Anyway, let's continue. Xiwangmu, the mom queen. A defender, okay? I saw the taunt here and I was confused. I assumed she was a disruptor because she was a woman. That's honestly reflects my character more than it does reflect her character. Women can be more than invokers. Obviously, we just saw a great slayer that was also a woman. Anyway, let me try to dig out of this hole now. Attack one enemy, place to place taunt on the target for 1 turn, and we'll place taunt for 2 turns instead. This is an epic. Okay, good. Actually res up, and then we get an extra turn. Sure, great. Remove a debuff from allies, then equalize the HP to the enemy with the highest current HP, then place a shield on allies for 5% of this current HP. Huh. She kind of feels like an invoker, man. That's what I gotta say. She kind of feels like an invoker anyway. Okay, and then... Oh, at the start of the wave, place Immortal. At the start of the wave, place Immortal. We finally got our Hercules enabler, boys. Hercules is doing double damage at the start of battle now. As a character, these buffs I don't care about, but since I give an extra turn, it's fine. I think this is a great way to give low-level buffs. You know, obviously, is just get this extra turn tag. We're throwing out taunts. That's fine. She's not really keeping your team alive, though. Like, I don't see how equalizes, like, I guess against bosses, she's gonna, like, just full heal and give a 25% HP shield. But then you can't taunt bosses. She's a little confused. That's okay, though. Her imprint's great, so we'll just imprint her, right? And then we'll just grab it, we'll put it on Hercules, and then we'll just start doing shenanigans. This is kind of the reason why as well. This imprint. I wish that A Secrets Arena didn't have the preview. So that you could be like, oh, there's a Hercules. Does he have her imprint? Right? Do I need to be aware of that? Interesting. Xochiquetzal. Xochiquetzal. An epic invoker. Ah, I understand. An invoker. Attack one enemy twice. Good hit. Each chance has a chance to increase the duration of a buff on allies by 1 turn, and then we'll increase 2 instead of a 5. Good. Attack all enemies. Yo, she's swinging. Then place attack up if Taliloc's on the team, increases turn meter. Good. I remember Taliloc being a pretty good attacker, right? So giving him attack up is great. Attack all enemies, dude. She's swinging. We talked about this before with was it Inari? We were talking about this with. Swing all is actually not that great because you're going to be giving people divinity and stuff. You're not really going to be doing damage. But the thing she's bringing, you know, kind of offsets that. Obviously, damage is damage, right? Sometimes this will pick off a low health enemy that you barely didn't kill. This will proc like immortal procs, right? This will proc you know, if they're like at 1 HP and immortal save them, this could, you know, take off one of those immortal stacks or kill them, right, as well. So it's not all bad, but like I'd say it's more bad than good, right, to be attacking when you don't need to. But she be swinging. Block debuffs accuracy on all allies. If the on the team plays immortal on them. I'm paying a lot for defense up, or for block debuffs. This is a lot for just, that's kind of what this boils down to, is block debuffs. When this hero places a buff on an ally, oh, we heal. Okay. So this is a heal. This is like 2 heals and then a 3rd heal to Lilock. And then maybe this does it too, which would be obviously phenomenal. And it has a buyout for a shield instead. And the shielding and healing of this character. Whenever I place a buff, I get more healing as well. 20% more healing. 20% of 6 is like 1, so it's like 7% more, or like a percentage point more total. It's fine. And then it's actually quite a nice imprint as well. Like I said, these imprints have been improving. Like these imprints are stuff I definitely want to use, right? And not in like a broken, cheesy, infinite way either. Just like, hey, there are people that give out a ton of buffs that I would like to give me some chip healing in. It's kind of what I talked about before with like Slayer teams. Slayer teams want to kind of slot in like just a little bit of heals, right? Not super dedicated heals. And so this kind of imprint helps. It's the kind of thing you definitely want to slot into your teams, right? Let's continue to Xquic. It's something like that. We have an epic Slayer. This is the chick with the crazy weapon. Good. Attacks an enemy twice. Each hit. Soul Rend is a crazy name, dude. Each hit increases the divinity cost by 5. There's no limit to this. It just goes. If the defeat increases hero's divinity by 30, if the brothers, if the Hanapu and Zablanque are on the team, increase the divinity by 15. Is that one a kill? It's a big ask, but man, this is increasing divinity cost by 5 is really good. Like very, very good. Okay. Steal shields and then attack one and ignore defense. If they're below 50, ignore 30% instead. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was talking about, right? I want my like single target, big hit, ignoring a lot of defense. Good. Equalize this hero's HP with the enemy with the highest HP. Now this is more relevant than on what was her name? Xiwangmu, the queen mother that we just looked at 2 people ago. She's a tank. She's gonna have a lot of HP. It's gonna be rare that in waves that there's someone with more HP than her, right? It's gonna be like, it's always gonna happen. Like there's gonna be hard waves where it's gonna happen, but like it's more believable that a Slayer will have less HP, right? Then attack, do drain 2, place advantage of this hero, and then if they're on the team, also equalize their HP. Oh, and then we swap HP instead of equalize. This is really good. Swapping is phenomenal. If she has like a Wukong imprint, which you'll probably want because her basic is really strong, that immortal turn she'll survive with 1 HP. And so, you know, if she gets to her turn and then ultimates, you can make anything in the game have 1 HP. Right now, maybe bosses will be immune to this swap effect, but maybe not. Saboki. When this hero defeats an enemy, there's the ability with like 3 more damage and steal divinity. And the next ability also defeats someone. Increase this hero's crit damage by 10% and increase this hero's divinity cost by 10, stacking up to 3 times. This doesn't stack over waves though. Asking me to get kill into kill with the same character is a huge ask, and you don't even let it stack over waves. Nah, man. This is Awaken 3 as well. That's never happening. Like, this is so unimpactful, it's not funny. This is okay though. We have a lot of single target damage here, like with this and this, so it's not, it wouldn't be abnormal to get a kill with this character, and then the next ability doing more damage. Wait, this, like, getting a kill with an enemy is a easier ask for a single target good damage dealer than with like an AoE damage dealer that we've seen in the past, right? It's still a high ask though. This is a little unimpactful. This is fine. This is really good. She's weird. There's some juice here. There's some stuff, but like in general, I don't think she's gonna be that good. Her ultimate's a lot. Like realistically, her ultimate is most likely a full heal, then put drain on a target, like on all targets. 2,000 is a lot for that, right? But then obviously when you awaken and you swap HP, it becomes a lot better. Good character. Like she's interesting at the very least. And then we have Xtabay. She is trying to stab me. Like this is a woman who, this is stabbing formation, and this is a face that has stabbed before, and I don't think she was sorry about it. She doesn't look sorry that she stabbed someone before. You know, actually, Obsidian usually starts as black, by the way. So this is red. I'll let you draw the meaning from that. Oh, putting charm on people. Dude, I love charm. Great. Attack enemies, please put a hex on them. Awesome. Attacks on enemies, reduce their turn meter by 20%, put speed down. Ow! Yeah, that's good. And then if they fall below, I'll put spam on them. Dude, Loki, dude, like, what's her name? Izanami? Eat your heart out. This is really good. When attacking an enemy with a charm, increase the duration of her MD buff on the target. Also remove the hero's. Oh, wait. If they're under a charm, you smack them in the face and then you take all their stuff. She's actually a mugger. This is like she's standing in dark alleys waiting to mug people. and then she'll stab you, giving you a more debuff, and then steal your wallet. Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's really expensive, but at A3 it kind of justifies its cost. You know, this is a pretty heavy turn meter down. Like it's an appreciable turn meter down, I should say. It's not heavy, it's appreciable, right? And then speed down 2 on all people, 100% chance. This is a disruptor. This is the level of an epic disruptor, right? In the beginning, you know, they're doing charm, protecting themselves. They're doing hex. They're spreading damage a little bit, and then, you know, they have this ultimate here, right? I think she is a little weak though. Like, this is the thing, right? When all your power is in your ultimate, and like the initiative system is not very good, right? You either have to have a giga broken generator, which she doesn't have, 40% 40 divinity for inflicting damage on enemy. You either have to have a broken generator or like you're not good. And I think this is what happens here. Is like, I think this is a good ultimate, but the cost is it is too high. Like, I think this initial needs to be like, I think it's okay if the cost is high, but this initial needs to be like able to, it has to be within striking distance. So we get 100 here. It needs to be within striking distance of Art of War, right? Art of War gives what, like 500? And then initiative does not help you cover the gap. It doesn't spot you the last 600 you need, which makes it bad, right? You'll have no immediate impact on the battle, right? You'll bring hex or you'll bring a charm, which charm is nice, but like charm is very good. But it's not like, this is her kit. It's the speed down and turn meter. Like, hex is good too, but it's not like, I'm not gonna bring in just an AoE hex down, like a hex 2. I really want this. And it's like another ultimate problem, right? Where it's like, I can't have this no matter how much I invest. I can't invest enough to cast this at a reasonable time. So I do nothing at the beginning of battle, and then I just get, you know, like, charm can protect me and prolong the battle until my ultimate, but like, you know, it's not guaranteed. So I miss my charm and then I die. And I never get to do this. But it is better. It is a step in the right direction, right? These Doomsday's ultimates are starting to feel more and more impactful. Or start to see more and more impactful. I guess feel's not the right word, because we'll see how they feel in the beta, right? So thank you for making it to the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I am interested in making some videos leading up to the beta, which is going to be signups on the 15th. I think we start on the 19th, right? And then I'll probably start to moving to making probably a video a day, honestly. Right, but until then, we'll do some kind of videos like this to kind of get us ready for Godforge, right? Kind of cover we'll be covering the news, and we'll be you know, covering strategies and stuff. But hey, take care. If you enjoy the video, make sure you do. I already said it. I'm gonna say it again. You know what? I'm gonna sell out this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. You guys know I read the comments. You guys know I enjoy your guys'. You know, I do it for the community, right? All right, take care. Bye.